What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today, ETH USD. It is the 15th day of January, and here we are sitting at about $3,330 right now with 6 hours and 15 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay? The past couple of days for Ethereum have been rather exciting, and for crypto as a whole, I think it's been a decent week, more or less. We are on the precipice, I believe, of breaking out of this ascending triangle structure that we have here. And when this breaks out, when we do see higher prices, we're likely going to go to prices that are well above $4,000. From a high to a low here, the expectation is that we'll go somewhere between, maybe we stop at the golden ratio first, whatever, we consolidate, do something like that. But I would expect that we do move our way up to this $4,300 to $4,600 level. This is, again, an ascending triangle. If we take the low of the pattern to not the high, but like the high of the pattern itself. I might measure here, something like this. Let's just take that. Let's call that the high. And we put that at the breakout point, which would be here. That actually takes us above the golden ratio. Now this is just a measure move. Measure moves, you can fall short of a measure move. You can exceed a measure move. But this being that close to the 786, I'm sticking with the exceeding the measure move idea. I think that's what we're going to do. Being that we're in high levels of fear down here and that people are assuming we're in a bear market, I'm assuming we're going to be more bullish, not exactly as bullish as people expect, but more bullish. So this very obvious golden ratio zone, which doesn't really interact at all with any significant price levels. Like this is kind of significant here, kind of right there, but other than that, there's really no significance there other than the golden ratio. I think the 786 has a lot more significance around it with these highs here, with this support area here. It just seems a little bit more significant. So I think inevitably we will go to $4,300 to $4,600, probably closer to $4,300 once we break out of this range that we've been in since early mid-November. But at a minimum, $3,900 to $4,000 should be where we go. At a maximum, $4,600, something in this area here. We'll consolidate, we'll do our thing, and then we'll continue to build higher. Probably going into February and March, we should be seeing new all-time highs. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if Ethereum saw new all-time highs in February. But if it takes until March, maybe it does. Maybe we have a good end-of-month run here. We consolidate for part of February, whatever, and then we're recovering. And by the end of February, it's March, and then we start breaking out. I don't know. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out from there, okay? And actually, real quick before we do, again, just looking at this chart here, absolutely horrible downtrend that we've had, right? And as we're getting lower and lower, as we're getting to this point here, volume is dying off, dying off. It's basically non-existent. You typically do see volume taper off entirely when you are about to break out one way or the other. And I think we're going to choose the upside there. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, a little bit of volume coming in here in droves. It's kind of an interesting formation up here. I don't know what to make of this. Maybe just a horizontal channel. It's interesting. I don't get bearish vibes. I don't get bullish vibes. I'm just like, what the heck is this? Is it the sombrero of death? It might be. Could be a BART pattern, and maybe we come down because of that. I don't know. You're getting lower highs, and that gives the appearance of bearish divergence. And sure, you had that. But now you have lower lows with higher lows. That's actually not a bad thing at all. Stochastics, MACD, RSI, if I'm looking at them and I'm being honest, I would think they all call for lower prices. Does that mean lower than these lows? No. That just means lower than 3,300. 3,320 at least. I mean, maybe we do. Let's look at this real quick. Hold on. Let me zoom out to the 4 hour because I'm not getting a whole lot of consistency or anything that's obvious on the 1 hour. Low here to a high there. I mean, wouldn't it just be perfect? Ethereum goes just below these lows. We go just below, and that's where you find support. Everybody panics. We're breaking out to the downside, and that's exactly where you find support is at the 382. Perfect area to do so. I'm going to call for that. I'm going to call for $3,266. If not somewhere thereabouts. I doubt that we move like more than $10 to the downside from there. Or if we do, maybe we're going lower. Like 3,266, but if we're at 3,250, we're probably going lower, right? I bet that's what we do. I bet we take out these lows, we do a little flash crash, something like this, scares people, and then we move up. And then that's whenever we move up. And that probably happens between today and tomorrow, the flash crash fake out. 4-hour RSI is bullish overall, super bullish overall. But you rejected the 60, come down a little bit. That's okay. Stochastics just rejected the overbought zone, come down a little bit. The MACD can provide a false cross. You can come down. You're bullish on all these indicators, but you can cool off and still be bullish. And I think that's what you're going to do. Daily time frame here, looking at this with a close here or lower, and I'm getting the vibe that we will move down as the day goes on. We will probably close the day red. We'll reject the overbought zone if today closes red. It's pretty typical when you reject the overbought zone to go down to the 60 or the 50 level in the RSI. We have higher lows back here. You know, we could come back down and find support there, right there basically at the 60. We have lower highs here with higher highs there, so that's bearish divergence. Bearish divergence would call for a move that takes you down here, which technically you already saw that. So if you're relying on this bearish divergence to tell you that we're going to go lower, technically we've already fulfilled that move. However, I do agree that we probably go a little bit lower. But a little bit being the key word. Just a little bit, and then we should be recovering. The next attempt that we'll see, right, because we'll bounce here, the next attempt should give us a higher reading in the RSI, the overbought zone, which would imply then that the next move will likely be larger than the prior move, than this move here. So if we bounce from wherever, 3,000, let's say we go down to 3,200, we go way lower than what I'm calling, I say way lower, it's like $50, $60 lower than what I'm calling for. We'd still likely move up to about $3,500, and with that, or $3,600 on this next move, or likely actually higher than that. With that movement, we are undoubtedly breaking out of this ascending triangle structure and then starting we're on our merry way up higher. So I do expect we will see prices around, if not above, $4,000 by the end of this month. That's the expectation overall. I don't have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said everything I need to say. Let's look at the weekly time frame. I like the MACD. I like the stochastics. Yeah, the weekly's super bullish too. Mega bullish, you guys. Mega bullish. Isn't it crazy? Like how influenced people are. We are all influenced. I'm not absolved of this. We're all so influenced by media, but I just didn't bite the media nugget this time. That people thought this was a bear market, right? We have lower lows in the RSI, but higher lows in the price. It was a higher low, macro higher low overall. It's hidden bullish divergence. We didn't even get oversold. People think we're in a bear market. We're reset on the stochastics. We're ready to move up, man. I mean, the last time that we were down here, we saw a massive move. Even in our bear market when we were here, we saw, you know, a move from 2,100 all the way up to 3,500. Bigger than what we've seen here. I mean, we definitely have more to go to the upside. And I don't believe we're in a bear market. I believe that we're going to see new all-time highs and all that stuff. But we'll talk about that when we get there, okay? Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.